Recent research shows that the most productive time of your life is when you hit the age of 60 to 70 years old. And the second productive time of your life is going to be the time when you hit the range of 70 to 80 years old. The third most productive time in your life, according to the study, is between the ages of 50 and 60.
Hey, babe.
Pretty incredible.
We're just getting started.
We're just getting started. Hi, we're Rick and Teresa Starr. Welcome to I Thrive at Life, the podcast. We are so glad you're here.
Yes, we are. And on this podcast, we teach evidence-based strategies to help you get unstuck and learn to connect, thrive, and create so that you can live with optimal health, passion, purpose, and peace.
Each week, we'll present values-based skills and strategies, statistics and stories to help you build better relationships, enjoy optimal wellness, and work toward creating your most meaningful life.
Now, here's the story on how we came to do this work. Well, it goes way back to just after high school when we went on our first date hiking the Superstition Mountains in Arizona. Somehow, we started talking about a book that my dad had introduced me to called The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale.
We also talked a lot about other books, such as Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. Maybe some of you remember that one. And The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. And on our hike, we discovered that we were both fascinated by the fact that the results that we achieve in life come from how we choose to think.
That's right. And as we were hiking, we really connected on the idea that your mindset goes a long way to creating your reality. You know, you don't always get to choose the circumstances of your life, but you can choose your attitude. And your attitude forms your overall experience and has a huge influence on how you feel about that experience.
And even if you don't feel that you were born with a positive attitude or a natural dose of optimism, recent research in positive psychology shows that a growth mindset, optimism, gratitude, grit, and resilience are all skills that can be learned and developed.
So basically, we fell in love because we shared the same outlook on life. First and foremost, we shared the same faith as members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And second, we shared a passion for the idea that how we think and act in life ultimately creates the direction and the outcomes of our lives.
So, for the last 40 years, we've been married, we've had 5 kids, and we've done our best to raise our family. In the process, like many of you, we've experienced a lot of ups and downs in life.
Oh, yeah.
There are difficult financial challenges, health challenges, relationship challenges, career challenges. We, like you, have probably been through all of those things.
Yep.
And basically all of the same challenges that most people go through in life.
And you know what kept us going through it all? It was our faith in God and our belief that our attitude and our mindset makes a huge difference. The bumps that we hit in our lives were somehow more doable when we chose to see them as growth opportunities. Now, we weren't perfect at that, but we really did try. We really love the phrase, that which doesn't kill us makes us stronger. We first heard it in the movie Steel Magnolias.
Right.
But that really resonated with us. And, you know, it's not to say that life is always easy. Many times we felt that the hardships we faced would lead to our demise. I mean, it got pretty rough sometimes. But now, looking back, we realize that many of those challenges, as hard as they were, they really did make us into the people we are today, for better or for worse. But but over the years, we've intentionally done what we could to study how to meet life's challenges with perseverance and passion and optimism and gratitude and faith. And again, we weren't perfect at it, but we did our best, and I think that's what really helped us get through those rough spots.
Absolutely. Over the years, we have studied a lot of books and programs and things about how to live your best life. But 8 years ago, we really took a deep dive into this, and we enrolled into a program to get a certificate in positive psychology. And then we pursued certifications in coaching, relationships, resilience, positive education, and eventually my sweet wife got a master's degree in positive psychology and coaching. Over the past 7 or 8 years, we've loved learning, teaching, and coaching in all of these areas. And we are passionate about helping people come to realize that the joy they experience in life is directly related to the thoughts they choose and the actions they take and the lifestyle habits they keep.
That's so true. Even when life is difficult, life can also be meaningful. And as we look back over all the years of our lives, we can see how some of our most heart-wrenching challenges are actually some of the best gifts, or at least the best learning opportunities, since they've taught us the things we might never have learned otherwise.
As we mentioned in our intro, our weekly Thrive at Life podcast will be based on 3 thriving essentials: connecting, thriving, and creating. And here's a description of each one. For connecting, what we mean is that we'll be teaching research-based strategies and tools to help you cultivate quality relationships with your family, your friends, others, yourself, and God.
And when we talk about Thrive, we'll share studies and science to help you build lifestyle habits for optimal health, for your physical health, mental health, emotional health, social, and also your spiritual health. So that when life's challenges arise, you will have the resilience, strength, and skills you need to persevere and to bounce back even stronger from those challenges of life.
And finally, create. In this area, we help you develop the vision, the grit, passion, and perseverance you need to achieve the goals and dreams you're hoping for in your life.
And you know, we're a lot like you, the people in our audience who are between the ages of 40 and 65 years old, who want to stay mentally and physically fit for life, like the Blue Zoners, who we will tell you about next week. And also like the healthiest participants in an 80-year Harvard study on human development, which will give you more details about them in just a minute. And you know what? If you're younger than 40 or older than 65, we've got a place for you to thrive here with us as well.
It's interesting how most people think that once you reach midlife, you just start going downhill, but that's actually not even true. Recent research shows that the most productive time of your life is when you hit the age of 60 to 70 years old. And the second productive time of your life is going to be the time when you hit the range of 70 to 80 years old. The third most productive time in your life, according to the study, is between the ages of 50 and 60.
Hey, babe.
Pretty incredible.
We're just getting started.
We're just getting started.
So if you want to be fit and healthy enough to really enjoy what researchers call the 3 most productive times in your life, start as early as you can to lay a healthy foundation for the rest of your life. And even if you're at the latter part of life, it's important to know that it's never too late to start thriving at life. And it's never too early either. So that's what this podcast is all about, and we hope that you will join us each and every week.
Now, as we said, each week we'll be sharing the topics of our 3 thriving essentials, which are connect, thrive, and create. This week we'll start with connect. Basically, it's the science behind why healthy relationships are the most important factor in your well-being.
So here's a crucial question for you. How healthy are your relationships? You know, have you ever noticed that some relationships come so easy, while other relationships can be very challenging, even toxic? People who struggle may wonder if relationship building is even worth the effort because of the hard work it can sometimes require.
While it's true that all relationships take effort, you'll find that once you learn the skills for understanding yourself and others, relationship building can actually be extremely rewarding, even fun and fulfilling, especially for successful people like you, who value relationships and really care about what matters most.
By now, everyone on the planet knows about the COVID-19 pandemic, which for the last several years has posed a threat to the health and well-being of everyone, right? But did you know that our world for the past several years has also been facing an additional public health concern? It's a connection crisis, known by researchers as the loneliness epidemic. Many people feel that their relationships are unfulfilling, strained, or dysfunctional, leaving them feeling frustrated and lonely.
Researchers report that 1/3 of adults in America suffer from loneliness. The United Kingdom has even appointed a loneliness minister, as they and many other nations around the globe are also dealing with this connection crisis.
And the saddest kind of loneliness is when you feel lonely, even in your own marriage or family. Because the truth is, relationships that are unfulfilling, strained, or dysfunctional leave people feeling lonely.
Here's a little bit more about why relationships matter so much to your health, happiness, and success and longevity. A 2010 meta-analysis reviewed 148 studies involving over 300,000 participants and concluded that having weak social ties was as harmful to health as being an alcoholic, twice as harmful as obesity, and equivalent to smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day.
Wow. Perhaps one of the most dramatic studies on relationships is the one we mentioned in our opener. It's the Harvard study of adult development. It's the longest running continual study on adult life. The study began in 1938 and is still going on nearly 80 years later. Researchers followed the lives of 724 young men from their teenage years into old age. Some are still alive and well into their 90s. This is an ongoing longitudinal study of mental and physical well-being. Dr. Robert Waldinger is the fourth and current director of the study.
Now, every year for 80 years, these men had to answer questionnaires from the researchers. They were interviewed, and their spouses and families were interviewed. They had their blood drawn and their brains scanned, plus lots of other testing. And all of their medical records were meticulously analyzed. After thousands and thousands of hours of research, the thing that stood out most to the researchers is this.
Da 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 da. The number one predictor of long-term happiness and mental and physical well-being is the quality of people's relationships. I want to say that again. The number one predictor of happiness and mental and physical well-being is the quality of people's relationships. So plain and simple, people who are more socially connected to family, friends, and community are happier, physically healthier, and they live longer than people who are less well connected. Isn't that incredible?
It is so amazing. And the other thing that researchers learned after studying all these men for all these years is that loneliness kills. In fact, according to Dr. Waldinger, the experience of loneliness turns out to be toxic. People who are more isolated than they want to be from others find that they are less happy and their health declines earlier in midlife. Their brain functioning declines sooner and they live shorter lives.
You know, this shouldn't surprise us because most of us have learned about how orphans in third world countries are more susceptible to illness, and many of those children even die in the orphanages from failure to thrive. It's been said that they die because of a lack of love. Research shows that failure to thrive because of low-quality relationships not only harms babies, it also is detrimental to children, teenagers, and adults. We need each other, and we need quality connections in order to truly thrive at life.
Now, some people might say, I'm surrounded by people every day, so this doesn't apply to me. Well, unfortunately, as Dr. Waldinger points out, you don't have to be living on a desert island, isolated from the world, to feel lonely. Many people report feeling disconnected and lonely even when they're in a relationship. Studies show that at any given time, 1 in 5 Americans report that they feel lonely.
That's true, and you can feel lonely in your family, in your marriage, or any other relationship. You can feel lonely in the workplace. You can feel lonely in a crowd and lonely in your community. And if loneliness is toxic and 1 in 5 people report feeling lonely at any given time, is it any wonder that so many people struggle in life? Ironically, the fact that loneliness is toxic could be the reason solitary confinement has been used as a form of punishment, even torture. Sadly, many people around the globe now experience social isolation on a daily basis. Others go through daily life not feeling understood, valued, or loved, and not knowing how to connect in meaningful ways.
Loneliness in relationships can also happen when there's a lack of empathy. Without empathy, people don't understand or care about how others think and feel. Unfortunately, one study shows that empathy has declined 70% in the last 30 years.
After studying several hundred individuals for those 80 years, the Harvard study reported the following. People who are more isolated than they want to be from others find that they are less happy, their health declines earlier in midlife, their brain functioning declines sooner, and they actually live shorter lives than people who are not lonely. The chronic stress of being lonely gets into the body and actually begins to break it down. But here's the good news. I know we've shared with you a lot of sad news. So here's the good news from the 80-year Harvard study. And this is it. Quality relationships actually can enliven and heal. Being in a secure relationship is protective to the brain. And love actually reduces basal metabolism, heart rate, blood pressure, respiratory rate, and muscle tension, all of which can lead to better health. Here's a great one. love can literally strengthen and heal our hearts. The study showed that having a loving, stable marriage at 50 years old predicted mental and physical health at 80 years old, better than a person's weight, exercise habits, or cholesterol. In other words, the most important thing was the quality of their relationships, regardless of whether or not they had high blood pressure or any other issues. As important as those are, the relationship factor was the most important.
Researchers also found that people who are more socially connected to family, friends, and community experience greater levels of happiness, improved mental and physical health and well-being, increased immune function,
And that's a big one.
and longer lifespan.
Huge.
That is one of the three main messages we'll be sharing with you on our podcast. Evidence-based tools and strategies to help you build skills in empathy, communication, conflict resolution, deep listening, forgiveness, and more. Our goal is to help you increase the quality of your relationships so that you can enjoy optimal wellness in your relationships, even during difficult times.
Thank you for joining us for week 1 of our I Thrive at Life podcast. Please join us next week to learn about some of the longest living and happiest people on the planet. And you'll also learn about their health and wellness strategies that are just part of their everyday lives, yet crucial to their longevity and meaningful living. Learning about and adopting their healthy living patterns can have a big impact on your life as well.
That's right. We are super excited to share more Thrive at Life strategies with you next time. We'll be talking about the research on the Blue Zoners, some of the healthiest and happiest people on the planet. We hope to see you then.
Thanks for joining us and have a great day. See you next
Take care.
time. Wow, that's crazy, isn't it? I'm talking about your comment. Sorry.
Whoa!
Take that out because
That's crazy!
all right. So I know we've.
Evidence-based tools and strategies to help you build schools. We will help you build schools.
Yep.